ॐ तपस्वाध्याय शुश्रूषा कृष्णपूजारतं मुनिम् विश्वेशमिष्टदं वन्दे परिव्राट् चक्रवर्तिनं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. Hari Om to all. Welcome back to Bhagavad Gita session. Today we are going to look at Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse 16. In the previous verse we saw the names of Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima's conches. Now the sound of dharma spreads beyond the main leaders. This verse shows that the Pandava side is not dependent on only one or two heroes. Every important warrior is mentally ready, emotionally steady, and fully aligned. The preparation is collective, synchronized, and calm. Let us look at Shloka chapter 1 verse 16. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kuntiputro Yudhishtiraha Nakulas Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpakau. Ananta Vijayam. Ananta Vijaya, conch name of Yudhishtira. Raja, king. Kuntiputra, son of Kunti. Yudhishtira. Yudhishtira means Dharmaraja. Nakulaha, Nakula. Sahadevascha and Sahadeva. Sughosham. Sughosha is the name of Nakula's conch. Manipushpakam or Manipushpakau, then Manipushpakam. Sughosha and Manipushaka both together they said it as a Manipushpakau. Here Sughosham and Manipushpakam. Manipushpakam. Manipushpaka, Sahadeva's conch. King Yudhishtira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch named Ananta Vijaya. Nakula and Sahadeva blew their conches named Sughosha and Manipushpaka. This is the simple meaning of this verse. When we go deeper into explanation, we will understand extraordinary outcome of this verse. It starts with Ananta Vijayam. Ananta Vijaya, Yudhishthira's conch. Before we explaining Ananta Vijaya, we have to understand Yudhishthira's mindset about war. Even though Yudhishthira is a brave and capable warrior, he is not interested in war at all. If no one had objected, he would have willingly given up all wealth to Duryodhana and gone to the forest and renounced himself from material life completely. Because of this attitude, many people misunderstand him. They mistake his calmness for weakness, his restraint for incapability, and his silence for fear. But this is not true. Yudhishthira is as capable as any warrior on the battlefield. But he understood a deep truth. Victory is never ending. Once you win, the hunger for more victory increases. Once you gain wealth, desire multiplies. Casualties, pain, and loss never truly ends. That is why he had no attraction toward either war or kingdom. And this is exactly why his conch is named Ananta Vijaya. Ananta means never ending. Vijaya means victory. So, victory is never ending. Once you start and once you make up your mind to fight, and it continue. Ananta Vijaya does not glorify conquest. It quietly warns us about the endless cycle of victory, desire, and suffering. That is why his conch named after Ananta Vijaya. Sanjaya calls him Yudhishthira as Raja. Ananta Vijayam Raja. Sanjaya deliberately uses the word Raja. while speaking to Dhritarashtra. In reality, Yudhishtira is not the king at this moment. He lost everything in the dice game and is standing on the battlefield only to reclaim the kingdom. Even though his personal inclination is completely against war. So, there is a realistic question for us. Why does Sanjaya call him Raja? Sanjaya is indirectly teasing Dhritarashtra. Because of you and your son's misdeeds, this rightful king lost his kingdom. Because of that injustice, this war became inevitable. But Krishna is with them and he will become king again. There is also quiet confidence and admiration in Sanjaya's tone. Duryodhana behaves like a king through arrogance. Yudhishtira stands like a king through dignity. Sanjaya clearly knows the difference and he clearly knows who is the king is, true king. That is why he uses Raja Ananta Vijayam Raja word. And again he uses Kuntiputra, Kuntiputro. Why Yudhishtira is particularly called as Kuntiputra here? All the three, Yudhishtira, Bhima and Arjuna, are sons of Kunti. Again, deliberately Sanjaya calls Yudhishtira as Kuntiputra here. We have to understand why this deliberate attempt to call Yudhishtira as Kuntiputra. As a Kshatriya parent, Kunti wanted her sons to be brave and fearless warriors. Yudhishthira's peace-oriented nature never fully satisfied her expectations. She was a little bit upset about Dharmaraja, that means Yudhishthira, in this aspect. He was not interested in war. He did not want to fight and all other things. She was never satisfied with him because he avoided conflict. He preferred compromises. He did not display enough aggression to fight or anything. So she was a little bit upset. Before the war, there was one incident happened. Before the war, Krishna went as a mediator. When mediation failed and war was the only option to reclaim the kingdom, Kunti sent a message to Yudhishtira through Krishna. As a Kshatriya mother, I want my son to be brave. I would rather have a son who dies in a war than a son who lives without standing against justice. So, rise to the occasion and fight unrighteousness and unrighteous people. Bring honor to your mother. So, this message, he took it with pride and he wanted to prove his mother proud. Yudhisthira accepted his duty. Even though his inner nature was peace-loving, he stood up firmly as a Kshatriya. From that moment onwards, he became Kuntiputra because he went against his principles to prove his mother is right and prove and make his mother proud. He is there just to prove his mother his worth in the war. He is in the war field just to prove his mother his worth. That is why he is standing firmly on the war. That is why he says, Kuntiputro. Then Yudhishtira. Yudhishtira means one who stands firm in battle. Though his instincts are towards peace, when dharma demands when dharma demands action, he does not hesitate. Once he decides to fight, he fights steadily until the very end. That firmness is Yudhishtira. So, each and every word chosen here very carefully. Ananta Vijaya has its own meaning. Victory is never ending. So that is why I don't want to get into fight. So once you blow the conch, it is a symbol of something is beginning. But I don't want to start at all because victory is never ending. That is why he named his conch as Ananta Vijaya. Raja, again he is the ultimate king. And in everybody's mind, he was the true king. Kuntiputra, to prove his mother, to prove his mother his worth and make her mother proud, he is standing in the war. That is why he is Kuntiputra. And once he get into the war, and he is firm, and he will fight until the very end. So that is why he is Yudhishtira. Nakula and Sahadeva, they both blew the conch named Sughosha and Manipushpaka. Nakula and Sahadeva often underestimated, often sidelined in popular storytellings. In popular discussions, never Nakula and Sahadeva comes quite often, like Arjuna, Bhima, Yudhishtira, Krishna or someone. Nakula and Sahadeva are sidelined most of the times. But in Gita, they are mentioned very specifically, and their conch name also mentioned here. Because dharma is not upheld by one hero alone. It is upheld by every responsible participant who stands with clarity and integrity. Now, here Nakula blows the conch named Sughosha. As name itself is Sughosha, it explains the meaning. Sughosha means a pleasant, clear and auspicious sound. This represents clarity, refinement, discipline and grace. Nakula is one of the greatest warrior too. He stands for order, aesthetics, health and balance. He reminds us that strength does not always appear as aggression. Sometimes it appears as harmony and discipline. Sahadeva blows the conch named Manipushpaka. A jewel-like blossoming sound. It means when it is blown, it sounds like gems are falling from the sky. This conch represents wisdom, intelligence, foresight, and maturity. Sahadeva is known for deep knowledge, astrology, and insight. He understands consequences before events unfold. Yet he speaks only when it is necessary. This restraint is really his strength. He never talks unnecessarily. When it is needed, then only he speaks out. Together, Nakula and Sahadeva show us that dharma survives not just through power, but through balance and wisdom. Through those who quietly uphold responsibility without seeking attention. Their conches complete the harmony of the Pandava side, calm, composed, and fully aligned. One observation here: only the conches of Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima, Yudhishtira, Nakula, and Sahadeva are named in Bhagavad Gita. No other warrior's conch is mentioned here. This shows whose inner alignment with dharma truly matters. Nobody cares who is who. As long as you are not in right path, people won't recognize you. People won't give attention to all the minor details of that particular person. So we have to be in right path, then people will recognize us in each and every step we take. Bhagavad Gita chapter 116 definitely teaches us a profound lesson. True strength does not always shout. True kingship does not demand power. The victory is not endless conquest, but freedom from the hunger to conquer. Yudhishtira fights not because he loves war, but because dharma demands it. That is why his conch is called Ananta Vijaya, a reminder that wisdom must always guide power. God bless you all. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Sham.